All right, get to teach one of my personal favorites here, which is always fun. We're gonna learn Angry All the Time by Bruce Robison. It was off his album Wrapped. A couple years later, Tim McGraw did it. We're gonna learn Bruce's version with his guitar parts. They're in different keys, but also teach an easier version that's in an easier tuning, a more familiar tuning. And we'll talk about how to play that along with Bruce Robison and Tim McGraw's records. All right, for the main tutorial here on acoustic, we're gonna be in a tuning that we don't use all that much. It's referred to as D6-9. It's pretty close to drop D in some ways, and it's pretty close to open D in some ways. But we're making a D chord with the bottom strings, and then we leave the top strings, the B and the E string alone, kind of make this chord. But it lets us play what we hear on that record. All right, so we're going to talk about that tuning. We're going to talk about the album version, the easy version, and the lead guitar lesson is really cool on Bruce Robison's version as well. We've got a really cool country guitar solo, and then we're going to be doing a lot of mimicking of the accordion and the pedal steel parts.
Here we are, what is left of a husband and a wife. Four good kids have a way of getting on with their lives. I'm not old, but I'm getting a whole lot older every day. It's too late to keep going crazy. I've got to get that I can't stay, have a thing you live with, memories of the way you used to be. The reasons that I can't stay don't have a thing to do with being in love. I understand that loving a man shouldn't have to be this rough. You ain't the only one like this world left you far behind. I don't know why you gotta be angry all the time. I don't know why you gotta be angry all the time. I don't know why you gotta be angry all the time.
Okay, this is the album version tutorial of the acoustic guitar for Bruce Robison's version, the original version from the songwriter on Angry All the Time. We're going to include a link to that version beneath the video player here, so you can find that on YouTube. Very cool song, very cool version. Let's get in tune first. We're going to end up with the capo on the 4th fret, but to get in tune, we need to have our guitar sounding like this with no capo, and that is dropping this low string to a low D. So we go down a whole step on the low string. We leave the A string the same. We leave the D string the same. We take the G string and drop it down a half step to an F sharp. So if we play just these bottom 4 strings, we have a nice D chord, right? And then we've got the B and the E string. We just leave them exactly the same. You'll hear that referred to as D6-9. We don't use this tuning a lot. But it's a cool tuning, and it's going to let us get these fingerings right for this song. Then we put a capo on the 4th fret. All right, we're going to be able to do. All right, so this tuning is really important to get it to sound like that record. So let's just start going through this introduction, and by the time we're done with the introduction, the rest of the song is really going to be a piece of cake. At that point, it's just going to be adding in maybe one or two chords and remembering the order of things. So let's get this first movement down. That's kind of how we start the song. One of the reasons we go to a tuning like this, and one of the reasons it's makes our guitar sound different and pretty, is we're able to let this low D string and this A string drone through a lot of what we're doing. Just kind of gives it that nice sound. So we're leaving these open. We've got 9th fret of D, mute the G string, 9th fret of B, mute the high E string, and then move the D and the B string up 2 frets to 11. And we're going to kind of have this down, 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 up, down. That's going to be a strum pattern we're going to use the whole song. But then at the end, just for the intros, and we're going to use it again in the solo. All right, so we go 11 back down to 9, and then we're going to drop to, these are actual fret numbers now, 8 and 7. 8 of D, 7 of B. So that whole first measure, down, down, up, down, down, slide, down. Then we're going to move to this chord. So all we got here. In this tutorial, we're going to go over an easier way to play the song using key of G chord shapes. If you want to play along with Bruce Robison's record, we'll need to be in E-flat standard tuning, which is just where you drop every string a half step, and then we can play nice key of G chords with no capo. If you want to play along with Tim McGraw's version, you can play along with his version with these same chords. You'll need to, in this tuning, in E-flat standard, capo to 3, or if you are in standard tuning, so your low E string is really an E string and not an E-flat like it is here. If you're in standard tuning, you just capo to the 2nd fret, and then you can use these same chords that we're talking about and play it the exact same way we're talking about right now. Okay, so we're in E-flat standard tuning. A G chord should sound like this. And a couple options for the intro. You could play something like, all right, or you could just play the chords. Intro. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's verse 1. In this tutorial, we're going to learn the electric guitar part for Angry All the Time. We're learning the parts from the Bruce Robison version. We're in E-flat standard tuning, and we're going to be playing, the song's in F sharp, so we're going to be playing like we're playing in the key of G, but we're in E-flat standard tuning. If you wanted to play along with Tim McGraw's version, you can play almost all of this, including the guitar solo, by staying in standard tuning and playing just what we're learning here with a capo on the 2nd fret. Again, you'd have to just move everything up, put a capo on the 2nd fret, move everything up 2 frets, but you can play this exact same kind of thing. Okay, and in Bruce Robison's version, there's not a lot of lead guitar until, we have this just great guitar solo come out of nowhere in the middle of the song. So most of this is going to be comping what we hear going on with the pedal steel and the accordion, which makes for some fun kind of Telecaster playing. I'm going to be using volume swells a lot. If you have a Telecaster, you can just do that with your pinky finger. Right? We can mimic a pedal steel that way. If you don't have a Telecaster or a guitar where you can get your pinky finger on there, you could do it with a volume pedal. There's a number of different ways you could try and approach that. For tone, we're just got kind of a classic country Telecaster tone going. Nice and bright. We got it on our bridge pickup here. A little bit of overdrive. You're going to want to be able to either increase your volume to 100% or kick on a boost with some extra gain for that guitar solo. But for the rest of the song, make it nice and wet. Put a little reverb, a little delay on there. I think I've got an 1/8 note delay going here. I've even got a little bit of chorus just to fatten the tone up a little bit for these pedal steel and accordion licks. All right, enough of that. Let's get into the song. We come in at the first chorus, And you can hear, this is kind of mimicking that accordion line that's entering here. And it sounds like this. All right, let's get just that much. So we're gonna start here. We've got 5th fret of D and B. Mute the G string. We're gonna swell that in. Then up to 7 of B. All right, a lot of cool stuff going on here. We start low, we end high. We're gonna start, think of this like G shape, right? This G. Position 5 pentatonic. We're gonna kind of be, that's the first riff. So 3rd fret of low E, open A, 3, 2, sorry. So 3rd fret of low E, open A, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, and then another pick here on the 3rd fret, slide up to 5, open G, and then pointer finger goes down and catches the 3rd fret of low E again. And you get this nice kind of rumble going, right? The next one's gonna start. 1, 2, go.
Came and